my life. I was diagnosed with a condition in the year 2000, and I went to a traditional doctor, and they did traditional techniques and said there's something there that shouldn't be there in your body. And I had to think about that, and I said, I travel the world and I show people this possibility from theory, and now I'm having an experience. What would this mean to me? And I realized it was an opportunity for me to practice and trust within myself what I'd been showing so many other people, so that from that moment forward I could look at any human in the eye and I could say to them, I know you have this power, and I can say this to you with confidence because I have healed myself doing exactly what I'm sharing with you right now. And that's what happened. I used the techniques that I learned in the monasteries in Tibet and I learned from the healers in China. However, I still went through the medical procedure because there's the part of the mind that questions. So I underwent the anesthetic, the doctors began to explore, and I woke up in the recovery room and the doctor said, what are you doing here? There's nothing there. There was never anything there. There was no scar tissue. There was no evidence. He said, why are you here? And I began in my waking up state to tell him about the power of human emotion to heal our bodies. And that's something that doctors don't like to hear. However, I have shown this video not only to public groups, such as the ones in Milan and in Germany and France and England. I've shown them to private organizations, the United States Air Force medical facilities. I've shown them to medical conventions and medical doctors. And they will look at this as an isolated miracle. They say, yes, this has probably happened. It's a miracle. We'll come back and explore it later, but first we're going to find the cure for cancer. Because in their mind, there's a disconnect. In the mind of the modern medical practitioner, there is no relationship between heart waves, belief waves, electromagnetic fields in the heart in the healing of the body. In their mind, there is the model that you must either use chemicals or drugs or physically remove or alter the body in some way to affect the healing. And I think this is changing. It's changing now. But whether it changes in the world or not, what I know is that I can go into any audience with any person on the face of this earth and I can look them right into the eye and I can tell them, I know this is true and I know it because of my personal experience. When we say the practice for many people in the West, again, it sounds like something that we do sometimes. And the key to all of the traditions is that it becomes a way of life rather than something that we do sometimes. Our conditioning in the West is that our spiritual practice is something that we do at the end of the day when the children are fed and the bills are paid and the dishes are done and the clothes are clean and the lunches are prepared for the next day, and then we go into a room and close the door and turn on the music and light the incense and burn a candle, and by then it's 2 o'clock in the morning and we're too tired to do anything, and we take a deep breath and say a mantra and go to bed. The point is, and that's an exaggeration, but for many people the point is that their spiritual practice is compressed into a few moments after everything else is finished in our culture. Ours being the West. However, you go into the Native American cultures in North America, South America, again into the monasteries in Egypt and Tibet, their entire lives are the spiritual practice. And then every once in a while, they will stop that spiritual practice for a moment to make change for 20 euros. It's just the opposite of the way we think about life. So again, it's about becoming the practice and allowing it to be a way of life rather than viewing it as something that we do in a moment in time. And this is, we do programs all over the world and people come after the program 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and they say, great program, where is the next program? What should I study next? And I have to say to them, there is no more. Go home and experience and live what it is that you've learned here. But for some people, the the diversion, it's easier to go from workshop to workshop and study to study and teacher to teacher rather than embrace and live what they've learned already in their lives. Everyone learns differently, and some people need the support and the structure of a group or a teacher to mentor them through, and other people need only a little push and a reminder of how it works, and they have the discipline to live this on their own. And that's what makes us unique. We're all different. We all learn differently. We all learn from different language, and that's why there's so many teachers that often teach the same thing. And people come up to me all the time and say, this sounds very similar to what my Buddhist teacher said, or what A Course in Miracles says, or what someone else has said. And I say, well, yes, that's good, because I expect if something is true, you will hear it many different times in many different ways. However, while my language may work for some people, other people, they may learn better from another language. And I've learned, we do workshops for children in second grade, so they're 8 and 9 years old. And we go into the school, and the school invites us. And when we do that, I use very different language. Very visual programs, no technical words, a lot of direct experience, and we pose it all as a mystery that has not yet been solved. And these young people love to know that there's something left that they can still solve. I speak to high school seniors. We use a different language, very different language. We've gone into nursing homes where people have a very short attention span, and the technical words will not work. So we find another language.